What is going on, everybody? It is Mr. Banks here coming at you live with another trade recap. Now, I'm going to go over my AMD trade where I made $960 today. But first, go ahead and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of these educational videos that we put out on the daily to help you become a successful trader. Now, let's get started. Before we get started, now I am a part of the Wolves of Wealth Discord. Now, we absolutely, it was FOMC today, and we absolutely crushed it. Team Wolves forever, baby. $460, 464. And I have to give a big shout out, as you guys can see, all these wins, man. Shout out to my team, Yules, JT Gladiator, Melski, Sherilyn. We threw out some pretty big bangers today. FOMC, we absolutely bank all the time on it. Every single month when FOMC comes around, we absolutely kill it. So 156%, $1,100 on the day. We had 110, 200. And this is the big one, man. This is exactly why I do this. This is exactly why I created the Wolves of Wealth right here. We had $7,200 on the day. I mean, dude said he was shaking. The mindset, everyone is different. The energy here is different. And it is, Team Wolves, we do this way differently than anybody else. This is why we are the number one group, and we help make your dreams come true. $1,500 on the day, $2,000 on the day. I mean, the wins do not stop. As you can see, this is our Discord every single day. I put in the homework along with the other admins, all of our trade plans and call outs. I will be going over the AMD one today. I had a lot of questions on that one today. How did I find my 6150 level? Now, I do use the BBR strategy, which is the bounce break reject strategy. Not to be confused with BBW, although we love big, beautiful wins in here. And as you can see, I want to just give a big shout out because today, guys, we had a huge day in here today, man. Look at all these call outs. This one went 80%. This one went 400% on the day. Ford call 150%, 36% on AAL. Now, we give entries, we give call outs, we give exits, we give homework, and we give education so that you become a trader. We're much more than just another Discord. We're a big community. Now, let's get started just to show you how you can make thousands every single day and how I make thousands every single day with my strategy, the BBR strategy. So let's take a look right here. Now, as you can see, I had the 6150 level up. Let's bring this down real quick for you guys. Just go over the homework right now. AMD break 64 for calls, reject for puts, bounce 6150, 62. And as you can see, I did give that call out. We absolutely bottom tick that one. Absolutely bottom tick that one. So how did I find this? Well, I use Thinkorswim, which is a TD Ameritrade platform, guys. Super simple. I use the 1530 to find my levels. So how did I find that levels? Well, as we know, my bounce break reject strategy. What do stocks do? They only do three things. They will either bounce on support, they will reject at a resistance, or they will break through support or break through resistance. They do nothing else. That's it. They do three things. So guys, if you want to start making thousands in the market, you need to understand to simplify your trading. Do not have all of these indicators and this and that on the screen. That's not what you need. All you need are levels. Granted, you could use the fib, you could use the MACD, a couple other things, volume. But at the end of the day, stocks play level to level, resistance to support, and that's it. That's all they do, guys. And I promise you, if you do this and add this to your trading, the BBR strategy, you will begin to make thousands like me and all the members that you saw today. So how did I find that 6150? Well, let's first go over the 64, right? Because I called the 64 level first. We got 63.93. So, right, this was a major resistance. That was the high. So before 61.93 today, it was around 61, I think 92, I think it's 93 as well, right here, or 90 in the after hours close yesterday, right? When we had AMD report earnings, reported some good earnings and we ran up. So what you need to know is you need to understand how to find resistances and support, right? So you need to look at the chart and be all like, okay, this is going to be a major resistance. this is going to be a major support. There is no secret. I give this to you for free. You don't need to buy my course or buy any course for that matter. This is literally how simple trading is. It plays off of support and resistances or supply and demand zones, but that's another video and I'll get into that later. This is how I make my morning trades off of simply support and resistances, right? So what you can do is look at pre-market or after hours highs and lows, right? Highs, right? Pre-market after hours highs and lows. So 62, but you can also go previous days highs and lows, right? We had 59.50 right here, which we broke, which could have been another level. But as you could see, 60.50, right? 60.50 was another major level that we found a support on today. And how did we find that, right? So how are these stocks bouncing or playing off of these levels? Well, it's really simple. They're on the 15-minute, the 10-minute, or the 30-minute chart. And take a look, guys. Take a look at the pre-market or after hours highs and lows. Take a look at the previous day's highs and lows, and then any previous major support or major resistances, because moving forward, this is exactly what stocks will play off. It shows that there was buying here or there was selling pressure here, right? So you need to find those levels, and throughout the next couple of days or weeks, the stock will continue to play off of those levels because they're major, right? They're major areas where there's buys coming in. There's major areas where there's sells coming in, support and resistance. So let's take a look. 64. This is why I had that level today, right, guys? This is how I had that level. So before we got to that level, though, we had a 61.50 bounce right on the money. A lot of people are asking, how did I find that? Well, I had a 61.50 to a 62 bounce. If we take a look here, 62, that was what? The pre-market low. Interesting. Just like I was talking about, guys. You could also see it found support, right? It's found a major support here at 62. So I knew that this could be a major bounce area since we're already above it. If we came down, the 62 could be a major bounce. But I also knew that 61.50 could be a major bounce today. Let's take a look right here. 61.50, right, guys? So we had this nice reject here right at 61.50. Reject here, 61.50, right? Major area of resistance. Even looking back here, 61.50, major area of resistance. Major area of resistance. We can find that it caught support, right? So that's another thing, guys. When you find a major area of resistance or support, right? If it breaks it, so in this case, once it broke that, major area of resistance, it found it as support, right? So if we break resistance to the upside, we need to look for it to find support. And then if we break support to the downside, we need to look to find it to be a major resistance, right? So if we break out of the trade, we will look for it to find support on that resistance, or if we break down from the trade, we'll look for it to come back up to reject that's what was once support and find it as resistance, right? So this is how I find all my trades. I hope I'm making sense. Support turns into resistance, resistance turns into support. And this is all these stocks do. And I'm kind of proving that here right now for you guys. I prove it through the wins. I prove it through my trade plans. My levels do not miss. They are always on point. 61.50 was a major area of resistance, right? 61.50. It found it as support. So what I was just talking about, once we broke through, we found it as support right here. Obviously, we broke down under, but look, broke through, found it as support, broke down under, found it as resistance. Came back here, resistance again, right here. This is kind of like a little zone, and we found it as resistance again. So guys, 61.50, this is exactly how I found this level. It was a major area of resistance. Now, if we go and take a look today, I knew that it could find it as support since we broke through, like I was talking about. We broke through this major area of resistance, right, guys? Major area of resistance. So once we broke through that, I knew we could find it as support. And that's exactly why we bottom tick calls off of that, going over 80%. Now, as you guys just saw in the Discord, I also had, Go back here to remind you, take a look. I also had 64 break for calls or reject for puts. So, this was the high. This is where we went to. I knew if we broke over 64 and held, that was a prominent area, right? Because it was a major resistance. So this was a prominent area to take calls on if we broke, right? If we broke the 64. But if we didn't, it was a major area of resistance. So if we didn't break through that resistance, it's going to turn into a major area to reject, right? Since we didn't break through, we came back down, bounced perfectly off of this area of once resistance now turned support. And then we came all the way back up to this area that was resistance that we couldn't break through, and we failed again. Now, guys, this call out went out over 100% on the day. So double-sided printer for us on AMD. Along with all of my trade plans, guys, I always give out all of my trade plans to be either way, right? Because these levels act as pivot points, like I mentioned, support, resistance, they will be major pivot levels. So when you find these levels, they will also be major areas to pivot, right? So, I mean, let's even take a look right here at the 6250 level. Reject, 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 right? And then we kind of found, and then look right here, kind of found it as support when we rejected 64, right? It obviously failed down, but then look at this, came back up 6250. So guys, I can't make this any clearer to you. Go on the 15-minute, 30-minute. You need to find these levels, play these levels. You do not need anything else. Stocks will only do these three things. They will bounce, break, and reject. I've been trading for over 9+ years. This is going on my 10th year of trading right now. Guys, this is all stocks do. You don't need any of that fancy bullshit. All you need are levels. Levels do not lie. I mean, this is clear as day. 6250 was a major level. You can see it today. Found some, little buying action here, and we found it as resistance. It was resistance. It was resistance. It was resistance. Guys, can't make this any clearer. My 62 level, why did I say that? Pre-market low, right? So it was a major area of support. But look here. What do you know? Resistance, 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 resistance. I mean, I could go on and on, guys. I can go on and on about this. This is all you need. And guys, I give this to you every single day. I make sure you guys bank. But beyond that, if you don't want to join my Discord and bank with us, I'm giving you this education for free, right? I'm giving you, there's no secret to how I trade. There's no secret sauce. It's literally just finding support and resistance levels and just trading them. One major thing is I do not trade unless it hits my level. Now, again, I will trade a little bit in between because I love price action. I love how candlesticks work, and I read candlesticks very well after all of these years. But support and resistance levels, guys, this is all you need on the day. Now, I made $960 on the day with AMD. And then, guys, take a look. Take a look down here, even 5850, major area of support, found it as support. What do you know? Once we broke down here, last Thursday, we found it, we broke down major, it was a resistance, right? And then once we broke over this resistance, what did it turn into? I don't know, support again. So guys, I can't make this any clearer. Look, support, 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 support. It keeps playing off of these levels constantly over and over and over again. And I hope I'm drilling this into your head so that you get it. You only need to trade simple. This is how you make thousands day trading. I see so many people lost and think like, oh, what is it going to do today? Was it going to do this? Well, I can tell you exactly what each stock is going to do every single day. And that includes SPY, Qs, SQ, whatever you're trading, Tesla, NVIDIA, Meta, whatever you are trading, I can tell you this. Stocks will only trade off of levels. They will only trade off of major areas of support and major areas of resistance. I think I made this very clear for you guys. I hope you guys are understanding this. Check out my other videos on the bounce break reject strategy. I think I made it clear. Let's look at for pre-market highs and lows. Let's look at previous days highs and lows, and then previous areas of support and resistances. And as we know, if a support gets broken, we'll look for it to become resistance, right? So if we break through support, We will look for the stock to come back up to become resistance right here. I mean, clear as day. I'm 62 broke through, and then 62.50 was a major area of support, right? It's a major area of resistance, turned support right here. And then once we broke through, guess what happened? Came back right up and retested it as resistance because it was once a major area of support. And likewise, on the opposite way, if we break through a resistance like here, we broke through this resistance, it turned into support, right, guys? So I hope you enjoyed this. $960 on the day. I also hit $11,000 on the day with my team. Now we could take a look right here. If you don't already follow Real JG Banks, I'm on Twitter. I do give out a bunch of educational threads and everything for you guys. I even do giveaways because I want to help people, right? I want you guys to win. I want everyone to boss up mentally, physically, and spiritually. If you're with me, I'm going to push you to get there, whether it's financial dreams, whether it's health dreams, right? We're all going to make it together. That's what Team Wolves is all about. Right here, $11,000 on the day, right, guys? $11,000 FOMC. We bank every single month on it. And if you want to take a look back here, this is where I posted my nice AMD trade in my small accounts. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I mean, you could see the results, you could see the testimonies. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love it. Come join the Wealth Wolves. Absolutely. I mean, guys, we do this every single day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bounce, break, reject strategy. Remember, guys, stocks will only do three things. They will bounce, break, and they will reject. All right. Hope you guys enjoy this. Mr. Banks, I am out. Check out the other videos.